So we've looked at a number of skirt drafts where we've had the same measurements for the hips and the length, but altered the fit on our waist according to different waist measurements. And so now I'd just like to talk to you about drafting a waistband and working with this garment ease. We added it to our waist in the first instance. And how does that relate through to how we draft the waistband? And so as a general rule, we have this extra 4 centimetres so that our skirt is comfortable. But when we make a waistband, we use the waistband to hold onto the body. And so to do that, we take our 74 centimetres and we add only 2 centimetres ease in a waistband. And so that means when we make a strap waistband, the finished length, that is when the band is buttoned up, will be 76 centimetres. And that is, as you can see, 2 centimetres smaller than the skirt you're going to sew it onto. And I will explain that after I've put the draft together. I will explain how they fit together and what you do about that 2 centimetre difference between the skirt body and the skirt waistband. So I'm still going to work with this draft, and we know already that we had 23 centimetres on the front and the back waists. Now that we've taken 2 centimetres of darting, we've got 21 centimetres on the front, and on the back we've taken 5 centimetres of darting, and so that means we're going to have 18 centimetres for the back waist measurement. So working with the waist as we know it, and just to repeat, the waist measurement is 74. On a waistband, it's only 2 centimetres garment ease, so we would like this to measure 76 centimetres long. And for the width of the waistband, I'm going to do quite a classic 1-inch strap waistband. So I'm going to make it, and it's a folded pattern piece, and so at 1 inch I will mark the fold line. Well, that's 2.5 centimetres. And at 2 inches I'm marking the complete pattern piece without seam allowances. I will square off the start end of my waistband. And I need to measure 76 along the strap. So let's imagine on this strap waistband, it's a 1 inch wide or 2.5 centimetre wide waistband. And we have our zip in our centre back, and so centre back around the whole waist measurement back to centre back is going to be 76 centimetres, and that is our waist plus 2 centimetres. What we would like to do within that space is to mark where the centre front is and where the side seams are to make our sewing easier. And so in this case, the centre front is going to be dead centre. So of 76, that makes that 38. And it's a good idea to mark it on both sides of the waistband, and that will be your centre front. And so this 38 centimetres will be divided between the back and the front. Now this is where we have to deal with that difference. We've actually drafted our skirt to be 74 plus 4 garment ease, which is 78, and we're making our waistband 76. We have to account for this difference in this 2 centimetres in ease. And by this I mean that we will ease 5 millimetres or half a centimetre of the garment into each quarter of this waistband. So from the centre back to the side seam, the finished measurement is 18 on the skirt. It will be 17.5 on the waistband. And we will, by that, we will ease a little bit of this at 5 millimetres easing. Very little, you will hardly see it. So the interesting thing about this easing into the waistband of a classic pencil skirt is that when you do use this ease, you notice how comfortable a skirt with a strap waistband can be. If there's no ease, it's as tight in the waistband as it is in the skirt, and it's uncomfortable for that first part across the tummy and across the back. So 5 millimeters of ease in there, meaning that at 18 centimeters of fabric is going to ease into 17.5 centimeters of waistband. And that would mean on the front that we will have 21 centimeters of skirt easing into 20.5 centimeters of waistband. We add these two together, we get 38, which is half of our waistband length. And so to repeat on the other side, centre back to side seam is 17.5. And side seam to centre front is 20.5. Having notches on both sides of the waistband will prevent any kind of roping or twist when we're sink stitching our waistband. And so this is the finished article, but what we do need is we need a button stand on the end, because we will be putting a button and a buttonhole to secure our waistband. Even if we were to use a trouser slide, same thing. And what we add as a consistent number is 4 centimeters as button stand to the end of our waistband. And so this is a complete pattern piece, no seam allowances. In the case of a strap waistband, I would suggest a 1 centimeter seam allowance is sufficient. You would match this through and make sure that the seam allowance on the waist of your skirt was also 1 centimeter. And so if you were making a pencil skirt and you're using a strap waistband, the cutting instructions on the strap waistband, let's put some notations on here. So this is our pencil skirt. Waistband. So that's the pattern name, the pattern piece, the size, and the cutting instructions would be cut 1 main or self fabric, and then in the industry what we put here is cut 1 block fuse. And so that instruction tells the cutter that we would like this pattern, we would like this piece of the garment to be cut out after the fabric has been block fused, meaning we put it through a fusing machine, the whole piece of cloth is fused and then the shape is cut afterwards. There is always a suggestion that if you cut a piece of self fabric this size and you cut a piece of interlining this size, when you try to fuse them together, you will in fact change the dimensions. And so in industry we stabilize the fabric with the fusing before we cut the pattern piece out. And that's what we mean by block fuse. So that will be the waistband draft. In the next part of the video I will be converting a basic skirt block into a pencil skirt pattern piece. Thank you and see you soon.